Hey guys, CompSci Girl 523 here, and we're back finally with SI Files 1C Escaped? Question mark. So, like I usually do, I'm going to be just explaining basically the puzzles. I'm not going to actually read the dialogue. I'll explain what's going on. Again, thank you to my two playtesters, Jackcraft and SMP Mike 23. You guys are awesome. So if you haven't played 24 Hours or you haven't played Fine Line, there is a button in the start room. It'll just basically give you a recap of 24 Hours and Fine Line, or if you just need a recap of it. And yeah, so this is the start room. The usual thank you cookies. There's a texture pack, so please make sure you can see these items. Explains it in the book, all our instructions, all your settings. And let's get started. So we're back with Dr. Kendall and Dr. Carson. Basically, they're telling you you're safe. They're still trying to convince you that you dreamed everything. The question is, did you? And now Nurse Kara is taking you back to your room. Kind of similar to the ending of Fine Line. Spoiler, sorry. Alrighty. So now you're basically talking to yourself and trying to figure out what's real, what's not. Are you going insane? You're hoping you're not. Kara comes in with your food. And there's a cipher written on these napkins. Interesting. So here's the cipher. So basically this cipher is a to Z, Z to A alphabet cipher. So, and then 1 goes to 9 and 9 goes to 1. So I'm just going to get the letters I need. I have to think about which letters I need. It's quite a few. And then I need 1 number. Also, if any of these item frames fall off the wall, I have some extras just in case. So, go up here first. You don't have to do this necessarily in this order. There are barrier blocks here, so you can walk out here. So it'll give you the username and password, and you need to find a way to get in here. So you walk up to this. There's a book. This book is a dictionary. It's a very heavy book, and it can break a redstone lamp. You get the metal filament, so you can pick the lock. GM returns. So GM is talking to you, explaining that there are others here. So there's 3 other people trapped here with you. Mina, Benjamin, and Lillian, because Kurt is behind all of this. And she wants you to play along with Dr. Kendall and Dr. Carson. Basically, go along with what they're saying so that they'll let GM deal with you. And Nurse Kara walks in on you at the computer. She says, just go back to your room. You have a great many friends. So now it's morning. Carson's in the other room. Now Kendall comes in. Carson and Kendall are going to have a conversation right in front of you. As if you're not there, you get kind of annoyed. You're going to tell them that you believe them. So now at this point, you need to prove that you actually believe what they're saying. So you need to prove to Kendall is. Carson believes you, for the most part. So you're given different options. So, for example, you could choose 2, choose the second choice, choose the first choice, and the second choice. If you're wrong, and you don't choose the right amount, the right ones, or enough of the right ones, they'll say, oh, well, I don't think you're quite sure of yourself. You get a second chance. To get the absolute correct answer, as long as you have 3 out of 5 correct, it'll let you pass. If you want all of them correct, it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. And if you do get it correct or get enough correct, Dr. Kendall will say that they think you had a breakthrough. Talk about this Dr. Markson. You heard something. GM again. They know Kendall is kind of iffy about all this. The nurse Kara says something about walls being thin. So if you were to turn around, walk straight at the wall opens up, and there's a book. All about you. So you can read through that. When you're done reading, they're coming back. Just ignore if it says the block can be placed. It means I'm double clicking something on accident. Sorry about that. It's just my mouse acting up. So they have a test for you. And of course the test involves parkour. So let's see how many times it takes me to get this. Nope. Didn't take me too many tries. That looks familiar. So now they're talking about Markson, and Dr. Markson shows up. So we'll just go back down here. Oh, we could have done that more gracefully. Somehow Markson knows your name. And it appears that you are to report to Markson now. Now we're going to follow Markson. So Markson's going to ask you a few questions. State your name, occupation, a few other questions. So Dr. Markson has now introduced themselves as Dr. Gamma Markson. So now you know who GM is. But you can't talk there because people are listening in. So she says to go to She says to go to the computer. So there's a firewall in the way, because it turns out it's not a puzzle on the computer, it is actually a secure database, and you need to get past the firewall. The easiest way to get through all of these blocks is... Whoops, not that. My mouse is very finicky today. There we go. Let's do it in blocks of 9. Except for the sides. Again, there's more than one way to do this. Easiest way is this. And we got rid of the firewall. So let's look at the file. Let's look at subject data. You look at these in any order, it doesn't matter. You do not have permission to view this data. That's everything. We should go talk to GM. So you give her your key to your room. Now you go back to your room. Carpet's a little bit worn here. This painting, what happens if I... She gave you the keys to recovery A and recovery B as well. And you put the painting back to hide it. Did not expect that big of a painting. And there's a map in here. And this is just an empty notebook. Well, for your personal notes if you want to do that. Do that, don't need that, don't need that, or that, or that. Or any of this. Alrighty. So it says that the map has invisible ink on it and you need some citrus. And you need to find a way to heat up the map with the citrus to unveil what's hidden in invisible ink. So there's a microwave in here, but you need a key card and you need a disguise so that you don't get caught going in there. There's an orange. So there's citrus you need. Let's go this way. There's some blank key cards. Don't need all of them, just one would be fine. There's some different dyes in here. I'm going to take this one because I know what color we need. But you'll see where that comes into play in a moment. So you come in here, and you walk up to these. You see there's a doctor and a nurse's uniform. So you want to replicate the nurse's uniform. So if you look, wrong one, look in here, there's coveralls, but they're the wrong color. Hence the gray dye. Nurse's scrubs, and steel toe boots. Now to get the coveralls the right color, you need to actually wash the dye off first, which I make note of to remind you that in Minecraft you actually can do that using a sink, putting quotes around that, a cauldron. And now that's everything we need for our disguise, so you can put on the disguise. Whoops, not that. And don't need these. And now for the key card, we can go talk to GM. Put the key card in the scanner. Alright, so basically this is an encryptor. So what you're going to do is you need to turn all of these nodes, we'll call them. And when you walk over them, they turn into wool. You need to turn them all into wool, but you have a limited amount of steps you can take. Standing on one of these, though, does not count as a step. And you can walk back and it won't count as a step. If you do mess up, you can just hit reset and it will reset the entire board. Here, I'll show you. Like, I messed up. Resets the entire board for you. There's probably more than one way to make a path that uses the amount of blocks I use. This is just the path that I used when making this. These red squares will reset you back. They reset the entire board. For example, board reset. They also do not have to all be connected. As you see, I did those connections over there first, and now I'm connecting these. Ta-da! And now we have a key card. And now we have the disguise. So now we can go in here. So we'll go into the microwave with the orange and the map. And now we have a new map. And now there's invisible ink. I probably should have shown you the map before. Before there weren't these little tiny colored squares showing all the doors. Now there is. And when you're done studying the map, so there's more of this facility. It's getting late. Should head back to your room. But Kendall's here. You're a little sarcastic with Kendall. They want to do another test on you. So we'll head over here. Just go to the computer. So this is a memory matching game. So basically, you press the buttons. They reveal different images. If it's wrong, it'll seal it back up. If it's right, it empties it so you can see the images again. And the buttons get cleared so you don't click the same one twice. Now this one I actually don't remember where every single one is. So this is actually going to be a lot of guessing and testing. I remember where most of them are. Yep. There is a little bit of a way of cheating this. You can actually see some of the squares, but you have to unveil certain squares to be able to see other things. So it's not really a cheating way of doing it, but it's a little bit easier that way. I'm not going to lie. Also, when you are doing this, if you're having a hard time seeing them, if you turn around, there's a little bit of a ledge you can stand on up here, if you don't fall off like I just did. There's a little bit of a ledge you can stand up and kind of look from far away, try to see the images better. These images do look very familiar. And there you go. So Dr. Kendall leaves the room. You have a chat message. It's from GM. Snooping time. So you need to get the password. First off, there's a hidden little block over here that has Dr. Carson's key card, which is going to be helpful later. And you need to figure out the password to the computer. Now, when you find it, it's a number password. It's 4 numbers. There's a button here on the wall. So basically, the number of flashes of the lamp is the passcode. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 4, 3. So if you try to hit the remote access link, it says you need a code for it. Go to the email. Dr. Carson lost their card. There's something about the boss keeping an eye on Markson. Secure email is not accessible. Set the remote link and check your notes. Kendall will be back. Just hop over the desk. Kendall's back. Markson wants to talk to us. So we need to talk to her via the computer so that they don't have so no one overhears us talking. I apologize now if I sound kind of funny. My allergies have been really bad the past couple of days. Right, Nurse Kara has left something in our room for us. So when you walk in, Dr. Scrubs. So now we have a new disguise. And our cell phone's back. So it's late, you're going to sleep, you hear a beep, it's the phone saying there's a new email. Door is locked. Smash the lock. So Markson has been kidnapped by Dr. Kendall. So there's instructions from her. Explains what you need to do. You're done reading the book. We have Dr. Carson's missing key card already, so we're good to go. Kara's going to distract them in the morning to keep them away so you can sneak into the restricted area. So you can overhear Kendall and Kara talking. So you already have the disguise. Let's just empty out some stuff we don't need. And here we go. No turning back. So here you get to look around a lot. There's a lot of different things to look at. So feel free to explore around this area. Another lab over here. Needs a password. Some information about something called the structure. So Lillian's still in the structure. Ben is still in the structure. I can use that to get into the vent. It's a screwdriver. But I should finish exploring this first, though. Minna's gotten out of the structure. She explains that there's a failsafe in the structure. She doesn't remember where, though. Supply closet with a red level key card. And the vent's up there. We found everything, so we can go into the vent. Again, that's just me double-clicking if you see that in chat. Now we're in the control room. And that's Ben and Lillian. Your phone buzzes. We need to get Ben and Lillian out of the structure. So you can choose which one you want to talk to first. I'll just go with Ben first. He's at a power plant, in quotes. Because again, he's in the structure. You're trying to convince him. He figures it out. And his structure world crashes. And he's escaped. Now we have Lillian to convince. She's not so easily convinced. So you tell her, watch the lake. And it changes. And we've gotten caught. Oh no. So you defeat Kendall. Now to deal with Carson. And Carson turns out to be a coward. Now to find Kurt. And you could hear Kurt. But again, he's not going to show himself yet. He wants to face us. Feel free to explore around. These areas will look very familiar. Well, some of them will. You are now trapped again in the structure. He explains his plan. So he's going to show you each of their worlds that were created. So now we're in Minna's world. There's a fail-safe in each one. There's a button you need to find. So in this one, where is it? It's at the very top level. There you go. I'm sure there are many of you who probably do this in one take. Well, my parkour skills are rather lacking. Wrong key. Believe it or not, I did this in one try at one point. I just am really bad at parkour. I admit that. Okay, we're finally at the top. So now we have a bit of a redstone puzzle. So basically the concept behind the redstone puzzle is basically you're toggling each of these gates on and off, and when you do that it sends redstone signals to different locations, and you want to turn these two lights off. So the solution is blue, green, pink, green, pink, pink, green, blue. You see all the lights turned off and the button unlocked. And now we're in Lillian's place. So I'll just start this going and then I'll explain what's going on, because you know potions take forever. So up there you see there's a button. You need to get to that button, but the only way to get to that button is to use a jump boost, because there are 2 block jumps. Save that for later. You don't need all of these. I'll just leave that. And now we're back at Fake Solve It. Trust me, you're going to want to take the armor. You don't have to, but it is highly recommended that you take the armor. So you have now officially broken all of the other worlds except for one. Kurtz. Of course, Kurt is not going down without a fight. Of course, he's not actually going to fight you. Okay, we're good. Alright, so it says shoot the button. There is a button now that has been unblocked. Of course, I can't aim. You drop Kurt. Error, error. So you survived. So this is 1 week later. You're back at the real Solve It. Someone's here to see you. It's the real Homan. He says, are you ready for your next case? You're always ready. Sure, there will be one coming soon. For now, you're just happy you escaped. So that is my map. That is Escaped. Thank you guys for watching, and if you played it, thank you for playing. Again, thank you to my playtesters, Jackcraft and SMP Mike 23. You guys are awesome. And yeah, so then you can go and explore the code and the entire map. Everything takes place basically in here. And yeah, so stay tuned for more. There will be more SI files. It just won't be directly correlated to this story. Stay tuned for any other maps I might make. I'm not going to restrict myself to just making SI files. They will be coming out as I make them, basically, as I come up with ideas for them. But there will be other maps I have ideas for. So yeah, just stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, bye.